Pepperami Gibraltar Darts Trophy. That might have been Rob Malarkey who had sing along to K.Huybrechts' walk-on song there. Oh, it's a catchy one.
It is. It's one of my faves. Simon, Down Under, Simon Whitlock is my favourite.
Well, there we go. We're going to hear that later on. Michael van Gerwen is going to take on Dyson Parodi in what could be the biggest shock we've ever seen on the European Tour. Certainly at the quarter-final stage later on this evening. That's when the quarter-finals begin. We now go about the business of setting up the other quarter-final in that top half of the draw, and it sees K.Huybrechts, the number 5 seed, a winner on the European Tour last year, taking on Benito van der Pas, a finalist on the European Tour. And then the winner of this one goes up against either James Wade, former winner here in Gibraltar, or the world and Premier League champion, the Flying Scotsman Gary Anderson. Dan Dawson in the commentary box. Rob Malarkey, once he's finished singing, sat alongside me. And you quite fancy Benito this weekend, don't you?
I do, yes. He's arguably one of the most informed players on stage this weekend, having won his maiden senior PDC title recently, beating Van Gerwen 6-5 in Barnsley in Players' Championship 4. Game on! And 6-1, the scoreline when he played Stephen Bunting in the second round yesterday. Some impressive stats from Benito too. Averaged over 100, 50% on his doubles. And not a shabby start there either.
No, not at all. K.Huybrechts, underwhelming is probably the word for his display against Michael Rastovitz, the Austrian, who found himself 4-0 up, Rastovitz, and it looked like we were going to see another eyebrow-raising performance here. 93. But in the end, he lost the last 6 legs. Now, Huybrechts only averaged 84 in that game. He still managed to do it and get the job done as he fires in a 180, and he's already equalled the amount of 180s he hit against Rastovitz in 10 legs.
Yeah. Well, we made the point yesterday that Huybrechts hasn't really done a great deal, certainly on the European circuit, since winning the final event of last year, the European Grand Prix at Sindelfingen, beating Peter Wright in the final there. Suffered that last 64 defeat by Dave Pallis at Ali Pali as well. 92. Lost his opening match in Venray at the hands of Devon Peterson, made a similarly early exit in Munich, losing 6-1 to William O'Connor. Do with just reminding a few people of what he's capable of. He is the number 5 seed here. And a chance of a break here for Kimi. Well, double 5.
79.
Would have been a 12 darter as well, but Van der Pas is set on double 18 for a 13 darter.
Steely-eyed focus from Benito.
Yeah,
as he peers through.
Game show on the first
dips his substantial frame into position and takes out double 18.
Yeah,
what is he, 6'5", Benito?
I'm not sure he's quite that. I'd probably say 6'3".
96.
He's not a small man. 23-year-old from Tilburg.
He's not small.
He's not, yeah. Well, I mean, he's called Big Ben. And there's a clue. He's got that sort of narrowing of the eyes he's about to throw. He's like Clint Eastwood or one of the old spaghetti 58. Western characters in a shootout.
Well, having
60.
Had the opportunity to break. It'll be interesting to see how Huybrechts responds here.
58.
These two last met on the European Tour in Riesa last year at the International Open in the semi-finals.
60.
Van der Pas came through that one.
Yes,
but missed out in the final.
Yeah, beaten by Michael Smith. That was the weekend when he brought an end to Michael van Gerwen's ridiculous 20-game winning streak on the European Tour. Won the first 4 events, and then Benito did for him.
And it was also 6-3 in the Dutchman's favour when they met in Austria 2 years ago. That was in the last 32. Correct score backers might want the Van der Pas 6-3 again.
Well, Kimi looks a bit more at it today than he did against, certainly in the early stages against the rest of it. I mean, you have nothing in the opening 4 legs.
No doubt about that.
He seemed a bit confused afterwards. I saw him
43.
Heading back from the stage with his manager Mako, and Mako was obviously delighted. His man had come through it when it didn't look like it was going to happen after the first 4 legs. And Huybrechts just a bit confused. He didn't know why he'd played so poorly, but just said he kept fighting, kept going, and somehow got over the line. Checking the score, 77 scores, 65 left, so 25 for tops. Ooh, too good.
127.
Now, Benito wants the same target, preferably twice. And again, looks good. Oh, well, after the first dart.
Was he put off by the aircraft overhead?
Well, maybe. Might be Max Hopp making a hasty exit. Back to Germany, following defeat to Dyson Parodi as Huybrechts looks at double 4 and now down for double 2 to level the match at 1 apiece, and it's not there, and frustration from Huybrechts as he very pointedly plucks the darts out the board. Double 10 for 2-0. Still double 10.
20.
Well.
Kim, you require 4.
And he missed 6 darts at double in the entire game against Stephen Bunting, a game that looked like it was one of the ties of the round, and in the end Benito just kind of blew him away. But Kim Huybrechts may give Benito another go here. Can he get round? He can! Oh, well played, Kim Huybrechts.
Third leg, Benito, the throw first.
Yeah, strange leg that one. 24 darts required for Huybrechts to level things up. Van der Pas had the opportunity for the break.
100.
Didn't take it. I think I'm right in saying their most recent
99.
meeting was at the World Grand Prix, or have they met?
No, yeah, you're
players,
right.
Yeah.
And
last year.
Kim's won their most recent one, and he won their first one. In between, it's been all Benito. So Kim won 2-1 in the first round of the Grand Prix, and he also won back in 2011 at the Antwerp Open, won it 4-0. In 2011, Benito was 18 years old.
96.
But the 5 games in between all went Benito's way, including that game in Riesa that you mentioned, where he made it all the way to the final of the European Tour event there.
58.
But Kim is one of the very few players to have won more than one European Tour event.
140.
Won at the back end of last year in Sindelfingen, but he added that to the Dutch Darts Masters when we held it in Veldhoven.
140.
Beat MVG along the way, beat Brendan Dolan in the final. Kim is one of these players who has the capacity to play brilliantly, although, as you rightly mentioned, things haven't been great for him 2016 so far.
No, but they're looking pretty rosy for him now.
87. Kim, you require 26.
You go straight at it.
Looks as though he will.
He does, and that's right on the wire.
Game
That's
shot
right there, in there. And this is what I like. When Kim Huybrechts, as I've said many times, he seems to play his better stuff when he's fired up. He describes himself as an emotional player and just getting a bit of oomph in his darts, a bit of aggression. I'm not suggesting he runs around like Dyson Parodi, screaming at every shot over about 96. But, you know, if he does hit a big score, if he does take out a finish, let everyone know. Remember Phil Taylor telling him he was going to shut him up at the World Champion. I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm going to shut him up. He didn't.
99.
He did beat him with power in the next game, but he certainly didn't shut him up. Kim Huybrechts doesn't care who you are.
96.
Oh, really good from Kim Huybrechts. 174 to leave the 132.
Yeah, this is the real Kim Huybrechts that we know and love.
And if he can get back to the sort of form he was showing in a sort of 2-3 month spell last year, leading up to his win on the European Tour, then he is a match for anyone.
92.
15 events. He had 3 finals, 3 semi-finals and 3 quarter-finals. And he hit a 9-darter as well. 140 keeps Benito van der Pas interested in this, but tops for Huybrechts for 3-1, and he's opened up a little cushion. That's 3 legs on the spin for the Belgian.
Game on.
And van der Pas has plenty to think about here.
$45.
Van der Pas will keep going. He will struggle on gamely despite having to carry the weight of Rob Malarkey's expectations upon his broad Dutch shoulders.
Those expectations,
60.
by the way, they've just dipped slightly.
Dipped slightly.
Shall we say, in the last 5 minutes or so. He was eliminated at this stage in Munich at the German Darts Masters over the course of the Easter weekend. He went down 6-5 at the expense of Joe Cullen.
45.
Yeah, it's been a curious tournament, this one, for Benito. A couple of years ago, he lost in round 2, lost to Whitlock. Whitlock often produces his best stuff on the European Tour. It's a tough game if you get drawn against Simon Whitlock.
135.
2014, sorry, that was last year. 2014, he played Wade, and it's just shy of the 140. He played Wade. He'd beaten Van Gerwen and done so excellently. But then played Wade and had darts to beat him.
140.
Missed them, and then Wade went and won the whole thing.
Winner of this could face James Wade in the last 8 tonight. Wade and the world champion Gary Anderson on stage next in the 4th match of the day here.
Oh, this is better from Benito.
More like it.
Double 6.
Game
And
shot
there it
of the
is,
fifth
much
leg.
better from Benito van der Pas, and he
6
cuts the
legs
gap
into
to just
front
1 leg.
Huybrechts still with the break.
98.
Yes, it could be Wade, the 2014 champion here in Gibraltar, who the winner of this one faces, but Wade will have to get past the world champion Gary Anderson. We'll elucidate more on that in the next game, but his record is not great, as Benito van der Pas fires in a 174 to start this 6th leg.
140.
Oh, Benito.
81.
Shame.
I believe it was in Munich. Benito may have gone 174, 174 to start a leg. And
He did, yeah.
a bid to produce a rather, well, I believe it would have been a unique 9-darter.
$44.
Well, he's in a bit of a trough at the moment in this 6th leg, is Benito van der Pas. Huybrechts looking good to hold here for a 4-2 lead.
91.
Sets it up nicely. Plenty of time. Well, let's just put some pressure back on Huybrechts. Double 16, though, you'd fancy him to take this out. Double 8, well, that's some way inside.
Game shot, the 6th leg. K.Huybrechts.
Well, he rescues himself with double 4.
Game on.
And a relieved K.Huybrechts makes his way to the back of the stage.
Well, there you see, 96 and 93 average, not a great deal between them, but that first 9, K.Huybrechts just outscoring Benito van der Pas in the early stages of legs. We have had that
100.
hideous-looking 2nd leg, but everything else has been pretty strong from these two. Everything done in 5 visits to the board.
58.
We know that both of these guys are quite capable of just flicking a switch, putting on the afterburners and firing in back-to-back 11 darters or 11, 12, something like that.
140.
In these short format games, that can be enough. It can be decisive.
Oh dear, this is a horror show from van der Pas, this particular
34.
visit.
And Huybrechts has the advantage, stolen the darts and back in the treble 20. And K.Huybrechts, as average as he was against Michael Rastovitz in the last round, he has been significantly improved this time around. A second 180 for him to add to the 174 he hit. Benito van der Pas fires in a maximum of his own, his first. And maybe these are the afterburners that we mentioned. 12s he looks at. Ball he wants for 5-2. Not to be. Van der Pas looks at 89. He may only get a dart at the bullseye.
Well, he was looking for treble 19.
Tops, tops. Tops, tops.
And tops, tops.
69. Kim, you require 25.
Smirk from Benito. The second dart's the hardest. He found the dart. Just follow it. That's all he's telling himself. And Huybrechts may make him pay. And does make him pay. And it's 5-2. And Huybrechts is throwing for the match now.
Game on.
Long road back for Benito.
There it is, but he looks fired up now, Kim Huybrechts.
One
That's when he
round
produces his better
40.
stuff, and that's what we're seeing from him. That's why he's such a danger at these sort of tournaments, because he knows that day goes on and the crowds get bigger and the pressure gets more intense, and we'll see Kim fired up and angry, and he's going to have to be fired up and angry if he's facing one of Wade or Anderson in the next round.
Well, the contrast between Huybrechts of today and the Huybrechts of yesterday in the first 4 legs is absolutely astonishing. This is the Kim Huybrechts who has won 2 European Tour titles. Clearly, he's back in business and he's looking very, very solid here today.
Yeah, this is the hurricane. Yesterday it was the
light breeze.
Yeah, squally shower.
60.
Just a 60. Huybrechts, ton 40, leaves him tops. Well, he stayed straight, so at least he's got a Shanghai finish. And it's certainly very gettable. Benito van der Pas can just hit big and hope. Bit of a blocker, so he'll come down the board. Good dart. And follows it, so there's pressure on this. Kim Huybrechts, 120 for the match. Treble 20, single 20 tops. There's the single. There's the treble. And there's the winning double. Kim Huybrechts, a 6-2 victory against Benito van der Pas, and the number 5 seed keeps alive his hopes of a 3rd European Tour title. He is through to the quarterfinals and will return this evening to face either the world champion Gary Anderson or the former Gibraltar Darts Trophy title holder James the Machine Wade. We'll find out which one he faces in just a few moments' time as those two face off. Michael van Gerwen and Dyson Parodi. The opening quarterfinal is already set up. The remaining got to come as well. Peter Wright, Simon Whitlock, both Euro Tour winners. Ian White, a man who was playing some very good darts recently. Whitewashed MVG not very long ago. Takes on Joe Mernon, who was excellent in the first round, dispatching former finalist Terry Jenkins. Chizzy and the Thorn is a Premier League clash, and Michael Smith and Mensur Suljovic. Well, they've met many times in the European Tour, and it's usually been very entertaining. We'll be back in just a few moments' time.